Hey there, welcome back to the Patch Quest Devlog, where I'm showing you how my indie game was created from start to finish. So this month I've increased the number of pet monsters that you can keep by a lot, and I've also added a ball so that you can play fetch with them. Here's how it works. While you're out questing, you can capture a monster using your lasso. You can then level it up and use a variety of its skills and abilities. Every single kind of monster can be mounted like this. But what you can also do is open the pause menu and select Send Pet to Camp. That monster will then be waiting for you when you finish your quest. And you can give them a name. So in the past, you could only keep 5 pets in your base camp. If you wanted another pet, you'd have to replace one of your 5, sending them back into the harsh outside world. But nobody liked that, so I've been busy overhauling how the system works. Now, after you've got your 6th pet, you'll unlock the ranch, which is a big empty space just below your base camp. I've made it empty because you can fill it up with a huge number of monsters. In fact, you can now keep one of every species. And if a monster has multiple skins, like Lightwing, then you can keep one pet of each skin as well. This ranch also contains the ball that you can use to play fetch with your pets. It's quite a simple feature, but it's been really well received by testers over on the Patch Quest Discord, so I'm definitely thinking about adding other kinds of pet toys in the future. You can put your ideas in the comments. Anyway, while you're on a quest, you can summon a pet using your whistle. It'll then follow you around as an ally and help you fight. And of course, you can also mount your pet using your lasso. This allows you to bring your favourite mounts to habitats where they don't normally spawn. For balance reasons, you can still only summon 5 of your pets during a single quest. Back in the ranch, you can use this pets board here to equip the 5 pets that you want to bring with you. The pets that you've equipped will then appear in the radial menu of your summoning whistle. So below your pet, you'll see a stamina bar. This basically shows how long they're going to last until they have to return to camp for a nap. Your pet spends 1 stamina point every time it attacks. And you can raise their total stamina pool by providing them with a nice home to live in. Every species has a liking for different kinds of plants and minerals, so by capturing the right kinds of pins and then bringing them back to camp, you can raise your pet's bond. More hearts equals more stamina, making them much more useful in battle. You have limited space for your pins and patches, and with so many pets in your base camp now, it's a bit trickier to get all of them leveled up. So I made some changes to how shiny pins work. Shiny pins are rare versions of the plants and minerals that you can collect while questing. Each pin has a 1% chance of being shiny, so you've got to keep your eyes peeled. If a shiny pin is liked by one of your pets, it'll get a whole bonus heart just from the 1 pin. So by collecting lots of shinies, you can have dozens of max level pets living side by side in your camp. It also shows up in your records menu which shinies you've collected. Now granted, these things are pretty rare, so you can't really depend on finding the shinies that you want the most. So that's where the second new feature comes in. I've been trying to balance Patch Quest so that the default difficulty is a good challenge, but some players, especially those who don't play many action games, have been telling me it's way too hard. So a while ago I added a casual mode that basically cuts the game's difficulty in half. But on the other hand, people who play a lot of roguelike games have been telling me that the game is actually a bit too easy. And so I've now added this hard mode slider, which allows you to ramp up the challenge over 10 different levels of increasing pain. And they get pretty dang hard as they rise here. I'm not really expecting anyone to play on the highest difficulty level. But I'm still giving people the option since I figure customizability is a good thing for the people who want it. As you might have noticed already, the difficulty slider also affects your shiny drop rate. You get a bonus 50% for each hard mode level, meaning the shinies go from very rare to actually pretty common. This means that if you're a completionist kind of player who wants to level all of your pets and deck out your camp with all of the shinies, you now have a realistic means to achieve it, but you're going to have to play on the hardest difficulty notch that you can handle. So one of my design goals for Patch Quest is to let the player choose any monster they like the look of, and then take control of its skills and abilities. That's because I want the game to support a lot of playstyles depending on the monsters and the skills that each player likes the most. And for the most part, that is how the game works. The defense skill and the attack skills can be used both by yourself and by the monsters. However, elite monsters also have access to a special skill, the elite ability, which does something pretty unique. An elite Hypnoth can possess another monster, boosting its stats and making it immune to damage. And an elite Magilian can summon shadow clones that disguise which monster is the real one. These elite abilities can do a lot of wacky things, and many of them don't translate well to being player controlled, and so the player couldn't copy them until now. When you press both attack buttons at the same time, you'll perform a special super skill instead. In the past, these super skills were a bit of an afterthought, but in a recent Devlog episode I started replacing them with more interesting skills that are inspired by each monster's elite ability. And this month I've created a whole bunch more of them, so your Hypnoth mount can now possess another monster. And your Magilian can summon the shadow clones. Each of these skills had to be rebalanced to make sense as a player-controlled ability. For example, the shadow clones now follow behind you in a conga line and try to protect you from damage. And other super skills that summon allied monsters now work in a similar way. You can summon Kragnet's Magnet Maces, which both deal damage and block incoming attacks. But to balance them, this effect only lasts for a short while. The super skills now unlock when you level up a mount to level 4, and you get an animated preview showing you how the skill works. Once unlocked, they stay unlocked, just like your other skills. And they also get their own spot on the HUD now, here. And there's also one last change. Your super skill can now only be used once per battle. This allows them to be much more powerful than your other skills. I've now created a unique super skill for most of the monsters in the game, especially those monsters that have the coolest elite abilities. Even the newest monsters have them. Speaking of which, the next update is going to add the swamp and glacier zones to the island of Patchlantis. So to prepare, I've started adding some new swampy and glaciery monsters. Snooth is a sloth monster that nurtures a symbiotic fungus on its back. They can draw energy out of the fungus to supersize and then bulldoze their enemies. Elite Snoofs can also take a nap. Be sure not to wake them, or you'll be sorry. Puven can use its intense body heat to bake soil into clay. Their clay-bending attack skill lets them kick up a wall of earth. It's both an attack and a shield. and their super skill lets them create an army of gingerbread golems. Wolfin has the strong swimmer passive, meaning they can travel through rushing rapids with ease. And their cartwheel defense lets them leap through the air, reflecting all shots that they touch. These monsters are supposed to spawn in the swamp and the glacier zones, but I haven't created those just yet, and so instead they currently appear as rare spawns in various other habitats. I've also added a bunch of new collectible charms to the game. Charms are power-ups that last for a single run, similar to the power-ups that you'll find in a game like The Binding of Isaac. Mystery Cocktail gives your charge blasts a chance to inflict random ailments on monsters. Dismount Mates turns your mount into an allied monster when you dismount it. It will conga line behind you and try to block your next damage, just like how all the other allied monsters work now. Blast Buddies make small allied critters explode when they get defeated. This clears all of the hostile shots near them. And Buttery Coating makes monsters fly much, much further when you melee blast them. Altogether, there's nearly twice as many charm types as there used to be, and this should really help make each of your runs play out more differently as you build up and combine their effects. So all of the changes you've seen in this video are part of the Monster Ranching update, which has already launched, and the Steam Autumn sale is just starting as well, so you can currently get Patch Quest for 25% off. This sale only lasts for 1 week, so you gotta act fast. With this update, I've made a lot of progress on my backlog of planned features. And so my next steps are to move full speed ahead with the Undersea update, which is going to add 2 new zones to the game. That means I need more new monsters, a bunch of new pins, some new dungeons, and of course bosses as well. So it's going to be a very content-heavy update that expands the world map a great deal. I'll need a few months to finish it, but in the meantime, you can come visit the Patch Quest Discord server. Here, I'll be posting my progress each day and collecting feedback as we go. There's a decent chance that you could end up getting one of your suggestions added to the game. And of course, I'll be posting more devlog videos as well. These videos take a lot of time to make, so if you want Algorithm Senpai to notice me, leave a like and a comment. But anyway, that's all for now. And as always, thanks for watching.